Welcome back, movie buffs. Today we're diving into the 2021 horror thriller Malignant. Imagine living your life thinking you're haunted, only to find out the real monster has been with you all along. This isn't your typical ghost story. It's darker, bloodier, and packed with one of the wildest twists horror fans have ever seen. But before we get into it, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss a chilling recap like this. Let's jump in. The movie opens in the early 90s at Simon Research Hospital. Dr. Florence Weaver is recording a video about someone named Gabriel. Suddenly, chaos breaks out and doctors are in a panic as something, or someone, causes havoc. Weaver is soon told that Gabriel has escaped and is on a violent rampage. Several staff members are killed in a locked room. When Weaver and her team manage to get inside, they find the bodies of the staff and finally capture Gabriel. As they approach, we see a glimpse of a child's legs, but when Weaver speaks to Gabriel, a horrific creature shrieks at them. Gabriel causes the lights to flicker and uses a radio to send his thoughts out. Weaver uses a gun to sedate Gabriel. After witnessing the destruction he caused, she decides it's time to cut out the cancer. Cut to the present day, where Madison Mitchell is pregnant for the fourth time, after suffering 3 miscarriages. She lives in Seattle with her abusive husband, Derek, who hardly helps and blames her for the miscarriages. During a fight, he throws Madison so hard against the wall that she starts bleeding. He quickly apologizes and rushes to get first aid, but Madison locks herself in her bedroom. Later that night, while Madison sleeps, Derek hears a strange noise in the living room. Strange occurrences alert him and he walks around to investigate. He checks it out and sees a shadowy figure watching TV, but when he turns on the lights, it disappears. As Derek investigates further, the figure starts following him, eventually stabbing him and brutally attacking his body. Madison wakes up to find blood on her pillow. She goes downstairs and discovers Derek's lifeless body. As she's trying to make sense of it, the dark figure appears and chases her through the house. Madison gets knocked unconscious and soon paramedics and police arrive at the Mitchell house, taking her to the hospital. At the hospital, Madison is greeted by her sister, Sydney, who tells her she was attacked. Sadly, Derek is dead and even worse, Madison has lost her baby again. Overcome with grief, Madison cries out in pain. Later, Detective Kikoa Shaw visits Madison's room to speak with Sydney. She explains to Shaw that Derek had kept her away from Madison, so she had no idea about the abuse Madison endured or the miscarriages she had suffered. When investigating the body, Shaw's partner, Detective Regina Moss, suspects that Madison may have killed Derek in self-defense. 2 weeks later, Madison returns home, trying to regain some sense of normalcy. But strange noises and the sight of a shadowy figure outside her window unsettle her. So she tries to secure the house. When Sydney visits, Madison reveals something she's never shared before. Before Sydney was born, Madison had been adopted by Mr. and Mrs. Lake when she was about 9 years old. Meanwhile, we see a woman guiding a tour group through an underground exhibit. After the group leaves, she's left alone and stalked by the dark figure. He attacks her, dragging her to an attic where he keeps her tied up. In the next scene, Dr. Weaver is at home, making a call and feeling like something's off. At the same time, we see Madison is at her house when a figure suddenly rushes past her. Later, she tries to do laundry, but she's startled when she sees what looks like Dr. Weaver yelling at her, asking why she's in her house. Then Madison sees the figure getting closer to Weaver. Frozen in place, she watches as the figure grabs Weaver. On a flickering TV screen, the figure says, "It's time to cut out the cancer." Weaver realizes it's Gabriel and tries to escape. But Gabriel grabs a sharp trophy and uses it to brutally murder her. Later, Shaw and Moss visit Weaver's house to investigate the crime scene. They find a picture of a girl named Emily May and take Weaver's patient records as evidence. Dr. Victor Fields, a former colleague of Weaver's, hears about her death and is horrified by the details. As he gets ready for bed, Gabriel starts stalking him. Madison tries to sleep, but she sees Fields in her bed, and Gabriel attacks, stabbing Fields to death with a weapon. The next day, Madison and Sydney go to Shaw and Moss, telling them about her vision. The detectives think her story is ridiculous at first. Madison describes a man being murdered and mentions an apartment, so Shaw and Moss decide to check it out. They find the building and have to knock on doors on the top floor until they finally find Fields' apartment and discover his body. Back at the station, Madison tries to identify the killer, but all she can offer is a description of a monstrous face. Madison heads to the bathroom to clear her mind and gets a call from an unknown number. It's Gabriel, and he tells her that her real name is Emily. Madison responds by calling him Gabriel, which means she remembers him now. Madison and Sydney visit their mother, Jean, who is horrified when Madison mentions Gabriel. Jean then gives them a videotape of Madison as a child, talking to Gabriel like he was just an imaginary friend. Another tape shows Madison on Christmas, talking to Gabriel on the phone and begging him not to kill baby Sydney. In the next scene, Shaw digs deeper into Dr. Weaver's work and discovers another colleague, Dr. John Gregory, who was involved in procedures with Gabriel. Madison was in the restroom and suddenly finds herself at Gregory's house, just before Gabriel arrives. Shaw tracks down Gregory's address and arrives too late, finding Gregory's body in a bathtub full of blood. As Madison watches the scene unfold, she tries to warn Shaw, but Gabriel appears and attacks. Shaw fires at Gabriel, who escapes through the fire escape. Shaw chases him into a dark alley, where Gabriel almost gets him again. Shaw fires, but Gabriel manages to slip away. The next day, Shaw and Moss meet with Madison and Sydney, along with a hypnotherapist, in an effort to help Madison remember her childhood connection to Gabriel. The hypnotherapist starts working with Madison, and she begins to recall parts of her past. Madison remembers that Gabriel used to talk to her as a child and would make her do bad things, like sticking his finger in a cake or even making her hold a knife and almost hurt her adoptive parents. She starts panicking, saying that Gabriel always made her take the blame, but the therapist snaps her out of it. Meanwhile, the woman who was captured manages to break free from her restraints. As she tries to escape, she falls through the floor and lands in Madison's living room. The woman is rushed to the hospital, and Madison is taken into police custody. The police search Madison's home and find Gabriel's weapon. This leads Moss to tell Shaw that she thinks Madison is the killer. Shaw and Moss interrogate Madison, and she gets so angry at the accusations that she yells, causing all the lights to explode. Just then Shaw's phone rings and Gabriel's voice taunts them on the other end. Sydney goes to see her mother and gathers information about the hospital. She visits the hospital only to find it abandoned. After breaking in, she finds tapes labeled with Emily May's name. She takes the tapes home and she and Jean watch them. They learn that Madison's biological mother, Serena May, had given up her children to the hospital when she was just 15. The children were the result of rape, something Jean didn't know because the hospital had told her that Madison's mother had died. They watch a test being done on Madison, where she says Gabriel speaks to her. The camera then reveals the shocking truth. Gabriel is Madison's formerly conjoined parasitic twin, almost like a tumor in the back of her head. Dr. Weaver and her team had surgically removed part of Gabriel, but fearing they might accidentally kill Madison, they left some of him behind, dormant in her head. The visions Madison had were actually Gabriel projecting images into her mind, making her believe she was living normally while he took control of her body to commit the murders. When Derek slammed Madison's head against the wall, it triggered Gabriel's return. Meanwhile, Sydney learns that the woman at the hospital is Serena, Madison's biological mother. Madison is thrown into a prison cell, where the other women quickly turn on her, and two of them begin to assault her. Sydney calls Shaw to warn him about Madison, but her story doesn't make sense to him. Gabriel then takes full control, revealing his monstrous face from the back of Madison's head. He kills all the women in the cell and escapes when a guard comes to stop him. After hiding to grab his weapon, Gabriel goes on a rampage through the station, killing guards and incapacitating Moss before finally escaping. Sydney realizes Gabriel is headed to the hospital to find Serena, so she rushes there. Once at the hospital, Gabriel manipulates the lights and kills a guard by frying his pacemaker. Gabriel reaches Serena's room, but before he can kill her, Serena speaks to him and for a moment he hesitates. Shaw shows up and shoots at Gabriel, but Gabriel throws his weapon at Shaw, injuring him. Sydney tries to stop Gabriel from killing Serena, but he throws a hospital bed at her, nearly crushing her. As she struggles, Sydney tells Madison that Gabriel was the reason for her miscarriages, feeding off the fetuses to regain his power. Gabriel then shoots Sydney in the head and turns his attention back to Serena. Serena apologizes for giving him up, but Gabriel remains unmoved and kills her, blaming her for turning him into a monster. Suddenly Madison's voice calls out, telling Gabriel he's always been a monster. It's then revealed that Madison has learned Gabriel's mind manipulation skills and has forced him to see what she wants him to see, meaning he never actually killed Sydney or Serena. Madison regains control of her mind and body, trapping Gabriel in a mental prison, never to hurt anyone again. All he can do is scream from behind the bars of his confinement. Madison frees Sydney from the bed, and they embrace, with Madison telling her that she has always been her true sister. That's a wrap on our breakdown of Malignant. What do you think about this movie? Drop your thoughts and reactions in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you. If you enjoyed this recap, make sure to hit like, subscribe, and ring the bell so you never miss one of our thrilling movie analyses and deep dives. Thanks for watching, and until next time, stay tuned for more edge of your seat content.